Hello friends and welcome back. I'm Enterprise Architecture and we are playing more modded Vintagestory. Now, last episode we made this lovely suit of gambeson armor that we are wearing, and we started to gear up so that we could take on the Resonance Archives. And after a long walk, we finally found ourselves there. So right now we are about to dive in for the very first time. So with no further ado, let's dive right in. Alright, well, we are at the Resonance Archives as mentioned, and we need to climb our way down into this and hopefully not die by falling to our death. So that is going to be something we are going to need to worry about here. Let's see here. We're getting a bunch more aged torch holders here. Oh, right. We cannot mine anything in here at this point. I think they lock it as a story location here, and I'm sure there's a... Ooh. Hearing spooky noises now. Do y'all hear that? There's a very good reason why they do that. They don't want people to basically cheat their way through, but at the same time, I really wish you could mine up all of this stuff here. So before we dive in, one thing I do want to do is set myself a waypoint. So there we go. Now we should have an additional waypoint archive ruin there. Let's actually change the color of this. I had done that to black, but I think yellow will make it a little bit easier to see. Okay, great. So now if we need to teleport home, we can come right back here if we have to. So, you know, I've only played through the Resonance Archive in a earlier version of this, back way before they had done all of the end stuff to it. I'm trying not to spoil too much here. I do know what happens in the Resonance Archive, but there's a lot in here that was not in here the last time I played through this. So we're going to see what we can see. Oh, a straw dummy. Okay, good to know. We can whack that a little bit. Some lovely books. Storage vessel. I don't know what I would need rope for, but again, see, these are all sorts of things that I would love to be able to steal if I could. But so far, nothing especially useful. Some iron arrows, we'll take those. Anything that'll help our offense will be good. Clean bandages are probably useful for us to have as well. I'll take the twine just because we are short on it. Oh, we are full on stuff. So what we can do is actually dump off some of the stuff that we don't really care about, like cobblestone and dirt and planks. All of that we're just going to start throwing away in here for now. And more arrows, we'll take those. Right, and yeah, I'm just going to leave the twine, I guess, after all, because I just don't have the room for it. A ruined spike mace, not nearly as good as a working spike mace. Oh, aged armor stand. Wait, does this mean that there's armor on this that I can take? Yeah, there is. Okay, so wait, what is this armor? Chain head armor, bismuth bronze. Ooh. I mean, it's in really bad condition. And I think I like my existing armor better, but it's good to know that there's an option here. Oh, and can I not even put that back onto the dummy now that I've taken it? Oh, all right. Well, I tell you what we can do here. We can put that in our inventory. And I think I did bring a chest. Did I not bring a chest with me? Oh, we didn't bring our chest. Okay. We should probably gather up what we can here. And before we head back to the main entrance, we should go ahead and potentially also grab a chest from back home, because we're going to need that. Okay, so it did turn out that I do have my chest with me. I just didn't realize I did. Okay, ruined axe. Peasant strap, not really useful, but I will... Oh, I definitely want to take the lore book here. Nothing new in these pages. All right, well, we already know about that lore, apparently. Let's see here. Well, there's definitely a light in the darkness there, and I do not recall what that is about, but I'm sure we will find out quickly. Okay, it looks like these stairs take us to a lower level, and we can keep going down. Okay, so at this level, we have some drifters. Ah, engineering. Wonderful. Some sort of liquid reservoir. Oh, some sort of giant engine. Interesting. Yeah, this looks very different from the last time I was here. Liquid pump. Oh, coal. Okay, we're gonna need the coal, and in general, we want coal anyway. That's for the boiler, and for this, oh, we'll need a torch. So we'll need to light a torch, which means we'll need sticks. So I guess we'll have to make a fire starter so that we can actually light up these torches, right? Oh, but I don't think it'll let me do that because we can't make a lit torch directly, right? Even if I make a fire starter? Let's see here. If I remember correctly, I do need to put some coal in the boiler, although I don't know how long that's going to burn for. Maybe we can use the fire starter directly on it? Yeah, we can. Okay, that was fine. We don't need to worry about having this torch here. And I think we can actually just like leave the torches behind as a result. We might need it for something, but okay. So that's starting to go. That's starting to turn. Things are happening. All right, so I think we have restored power now, which means we should be able to open some of the doors that were previously locked. Although, I don't remember if this contraption needs like a missing piece or whatnot, or if I'm thinking of a different game here, but okay. We will keep adventuring now that this is going, and we might have to come back and turn this back on. Okay, so all of the lanterns are now lit. Okay, here we are in the Noble's quarters. And I really wish we could grab up these books. That would be an absolute delight, but unfortunately we cannot break things in here. All right. Omok pieces. Okay, at some point we'll come back for those maybe. There's a simple bow. Okay, more library space slash rooms, lackey shirt, Jambia belts, silver ingot, amethyst. Well, I mean, I'll take the amethyst. Let's see here. Forgotten Noble Robe. Okay, delving deeper into these ruins, this is starting to look interesting. This all seems to have kind of exploded here, and we really can't get our way through this as a result. We're kind of stuck in here a little bit. But I'm not seeing anything absolutely critical, but I will note that everything's kind of topsy-turvy. Things are thrown on their sides and just kind of hovering in space, and that's interesting. That means something has gone horribly wrong here. Okay, I'm dropping off some of our extra finds back into this vessel that I found in the Noble's quarters, so don't let me forget about that later when I come through. The commons. Okay, let's see. All right, so we have some monsters in here, and I am going to go ahead and take out any monsters we find, because that's what we do. I know that these drifters are not going to have anything for us to worry about. The locusts we will deal with systematically. Okay, there's a rope ladder going down, which we'll explore momentarily, but first things first, I want to check out what's in the back of this, because there's all this green glowy stuff going on back here. Oh, creeping in the corner there. Corrupt Sawblade Locust would take care of you real quick. Oh, well, that's interesting. If you look up here, this has a high ceiling, and there's all these pieces of furniture attached to the ceiling now, as if everything got flipped upside down. It seems to be an exact mirror image of the floor here. Huh. Okay, so things are getting even more interesting here. We do have a scroll that we can pick up. The boiler needs coal and the gasifier needs coal. Okay, so that's important to know, that we will also find a thing called the gasifier, and we will have to put coal into that as well. Ah, we did find some leather. We are definitely going to grab up any of that if we find it. Cloth we can live without, but leather is extremely hard for us to come by at this point. Bell Workshop, all right. So this must be where they did research and made bells for the first time. Good to know. although somewhat terrifying. I assume we'll find lots of bell parts laying around here. Okay, another scroll. What does this tell us? The broken pump. Okay, one of the gears this morning. I've repaired the gear and need to reinsert it. So, apparently, yeah, there we go. Okay, now we have a large temporal gear that we're going to use to, I guess, repair a pump. Can we actually get down here? No. This is weird. It's like the whole thing just kind of shifted and cloned and twisted. Yeah, something is definitely very funny in this area. Okay, the other thing this says is we can go through the library by the maintenance room, so we'll have to find that at some point. All right, let's get our way out of here for now. Okay, so if this is the pump that they were talking about, we should be able to use the gear on it somewhere. It says liquid pump. Ah, there we go. Okay, so that started doing something. Apparently the ladder I found is all the way over here. Huh. And we seem to have found ourselves into the water. Now I thought the pump would have gotten us all cleared up down here, but apparently it hasn't finished clearing out yet. Alright, but we are now down on the lowest level, so let's work our way around this one now. Nothing in there. Translocator room. Fascinating. Okay, so there is a translocator, and there's 2 ruined ones. I guess we go through and see where we end up. Let's see here. Where are we on the map? Oh, we're outside. Somewhere in a different space. Well, at least we've got more coal. Anthracite we haven't found either. All right. But yeah, we seem to be in a mine of some sort. Well, we're not going to spend a lot of time here because, again, this is the main mission we are on. But I didn't know this was here. Huh. Well, I think this is what we are after. Down here in the mines, there's this thing called the pump head, and we need to grab one of those up. So we need to clear up just a little bit of room so that we can get one of those. Excellent. I think that's the only thing down here that we need. But I might be wrong. Like I said, this is very, very different from the last time I was here. All right, let's get out of here. Okay, so now all we need to do is take the pump head back to engineering and install it somewhere on the pump reservoir. This is where we came in. Okay, back here in engineering, where does the pump head go? Okay, that says liquid pump. There we go. That's doing something. Alright, so with any luck, with the liquid pump engaged, now we should be able to get into the library. Okay, so I think the door to the library was not supposed to open at that point, but it does now indeed open. So at this point, we can indeed drop down there. If I remember correctly, though, this is indeed the boss fight. So let's make sure that we are stocked up on the right things that we need, and let's hope for the best. Okay, here it is. Here's the boss. I assume you were gonna try and damage me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oof. And you're actually pretty effective at that. Oof. Alright, let's just try and stay out of the way a little bit here, as much as we can. Can I have my arrows back? Thank you. Alright, let's try and see if this does any better damage. Nope. Not very effective at all. Oh! And we have to get way too close to be able to use it. That is less than ideal. Okay. Oof. Yeah, he's gonna finish me off if I don't get this knocked out soon. Oof. Yeah, that being thrown up in the air is the worst part. Okay, y'all, this is getting very, very serious. We are not going to be able to survive much more of this, so... Whew. Yeah, we're going to have to cheese it there at the end with our Meteoric Iron Falx and just take him out. Okay, let's use these bandages real quick and get ourselves healed up. Huh, well, we got this weird Eidolon elucidatory vessel off of this, so that's something. I don't even know what that is, honestly. We do have the Eidolon killed, and I didn't see any other drops from it of note, so I think that's the only thing we're going to get here. Now we can start moving our way through here. Here's a bunch more coal, and they give that to us so that we can put it inside of this, the gasifier. So let me put our coal in here, load this up real quick. That sure does take a lot of coal, too. That's probably more than I need to put in there, so let's go ahead and take the rest of this with us. And I suspect now all I need to do is light this up. So let's get that done real quick. Alright, gasifier is lit. And now we should be able to, here we go. Enter into the library. Now, this is exactly what I was hoping for. This would be the perfect thing to start looting, but sadly, we are not allowed to loot here. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we can't loot the place, unfortunately. There are probably some interesting things around here that we can take, though. So I'm going to make a quick pass around here and see, for instance, these lore books that we can get. And we found the glider schematic as well, which is wonderful. So finally we can make a glider, which will help us get around the different parts of our world much, much quicker and easier. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to continue searching for... Ooh, library resonator. Search for a recent recording. So yes, this is giving us our next quest. We need to go find these maps, and that's what we're going to be searching for here. Alright, let me keep clearing out all of the various lore books here, and then we will be getting close to wrapping up. Alright, well, I think I have found just about every book that's in here at this point that we can pick up, all of the lore books that are hidden throughout. There's about a little over a dozen of them, I think, in here. So we have cleared out this ruin as best we can, all the way to the 4th floor. Now, there is a couple of other things that I want to do here before we leave. One of those is we're going to jump into creative mode, and we're going to run this command. So we had run it just a second ago. I just want to test to see if it works. And what that does is basically it frees up this location so that it's no longer a story location. We have completed this. So now this means I should be allowed to loot it. So with any luck, if I go and start trying to cut these down, let's try this. Yeah, now we can completely loot this ruin. And that means all of these wonderful, wonderful books can be ours to place. Let's put this back in. So now we can put down our chest here because it is not claimed land, and we can just start filling up on all of the stuff that we find in here. So having completed this quest, I feel pretty good about it, and I have no qualms about now trying to go around and cheat to get all of the books out of this ruin, because we wouldn't want to leave a library down here at the bottom of the world, right? We would want to go and collect all of these and bring them back to our base so that we can share this knowledge with everyone else. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to clear out all of the books out of this library and add them to our own. Well, friends, it is going to take me a long time to strip this library down to its posts and steal everything that I can find here so that we can add them to our own stocks. But for now, that's going to be the end of this episode. In between episodes, I'll clear all of this out, and then we'll have all this stuff ready for us back at our own base. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye, friends!